consists of 91 players as Rory McIlroy defends his green jacket. It's 64 degrees at 6 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
April 8th, 1974. Historic. One of the great dates, historically speaking, in the history of all sports. In this case, it was baseball. It was Fulton County Stadium. It was the Southpaw Al Downing trying to slide a fastball by Hank Aaron. Not to be. The replay, oh, by the way, of the Al Downing fastball seems to be going about 77 miles per hour with absolutely zero movement on it. But Hank hit it out. It was 7:15. It was a game-changing, really a states-moving scenario, replacing the great Babe Ruth and just all the controversy that went along with that. To this day, in my mind, Hank Aaron is the most underrated athlete of any era. And I really do believe that. Second for me would be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. When you are asked who are the greatest baseball players of all time, you're going to mention 8, 10, 12 guys until you get to Hank Aaron. And it's just wrong. What Hank Aaron did was absolutely spectacular. You realize if you take away his 755 home runs, he still hit more than 3,000 hits, okay? Was second only to Pete Rose. RBIs, home runs, he had them all until Barry Bonds certainly came on decades later. I just think it's a great moment with everything going on this week with the national championship on Monday. Here we are on the eve of the Masters. It's such a phenomenal week for sports fans. But this one right here with Hank Aaron, to me, the call by Vin Scully is something I think true baseball fans, old school baseball fans, you're absolutely well aware of what that was all about. And we lost Hank a couple of years ago. It's amazing that he doesn't get the recognition. I mean, try it out. If you're going, what's tonight? Wednesday? Is tonight like a bowling night? I don't know. Is tonight a dart night? No matter what it is that you're out doing, maybe you're playing cornhole. Maybe you're playing pickleball. Whatever it is that you're doing, just ask your buddies. Say, quick, give me the 3 best outfielders of all time. And you're going to get any assortment of Babe Ruth, Ted Williams, Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio. That's where they're going to start. And then you'll get the obligatory, can I throw in Barry Bonds even though he took steroids? Some may say Ken Griffey Jr. Okay. And then you finally get to Hank Aaron. Why use that? I think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the same deal. If I was to ask you the top center of all time, you're going to talk about Bill Russell. You're going to talk about Wilt Chamberlain. You're going to go through all these big, centers. There's no doubt. That's just the way it is. And then in my mind, it's Kareem coming in at number 2. So just a quick salute to the late Hank Aaron and what this day was all about, historically speaking, when it comes to Major League Baseball. Maybe the only thing that would have been better in 1974 is with the post-game sharp analysis / Q&A. Diana Rossini was on the field to ask the questions. Now, that would have been captivating, no doubt about it. This story has really taken everything by storm. And It's almost absurd. I'm trying to figure out why so many people have fallen down this hole. And it really is a massive display of ignorance because everyone's trying to massage this. Everyone's trying to go out of their way to make a point that it's not about what it really is. Okay? And that's a relationship, whether it's professional or personal, between a insider who has moved way, way, way up in her field and a head coach. And I'm tickled that, I've watched a few blurbs on this. I'm listening to some guy in Philly today who's trying to break down for us journalistic integrity. Okay, he's saying this while he's broadcasting live in Philadelphia with a Philadelphia Eagles hat on, right? And a Philadelphia Eagles hoodie on. And he's trying to tell us about journalistic integrity is gone. It has been gone forever, okay? It just doesn't matter anymore. Quick, name me 5 people that you know who are in this field where you can't tell what team it is that they love. It's long gone, and it has been gone forever. And the big deal about this is because Russini, number one, was accused of an affair back when she was covering the team in D.C., and number two, because she's been so outspoken about A.J. Brown leaving Philadelphia and going to the New England Patriots. So just come right out and say it. She's getting inside information, whether you like the way that she's getting it or not, that's up to you. But don't start going down the road of relationships, professionally speaking, between reporters and athletes and coaches. I mean, have you ever read Jimmy Breslin? Jimmy Breslin used to drink with the mafia all the time. Have you ever read James Patterson drinking with former President Clinton? Have you gone way back in the time? How about one of the great reads, historically speaking, ever? Mint Juleps with Teddy Roosevelt. Okay? It doesn't matter if it's sports, if it's politics, if it's underground mafia. Those in the field have always had relationships and have always had cocktails and have always had dinners and have always done whatever it takes to try to get ahead in that field. Nothing has changed here for Diana Russini, except for the fact that she is a punchline to so many stories. Here's the problem with Russini. Even though she apparently does have inside information, she's wrong more than she's right. She was wrong here with Doug Marrone. There's not a person listening. There's not a person in this city, whether you are a fan of the Jaguars, whether you were in the old building, not the Miller Electric Center, as a member of the staff, as a player, as an assistant coach, or a member of the media in Duval. Not one of you did not think that there was a really good chance that Doug Marrone was going to get fired. But it was Russini who came out and said, anonymous sources are telling me this is it. Doug's going to be fired. What happened? Jim Woodcock, the publicist for Shad Khan, had to release a statement saying that's not true. She retracted it, I guess, but she kind of did it while laughing. And again, it wasn't taken seriously. And we've seen from that moment on just how wrong you can be. And there's absolutely zero, remorse. There's zero penalty that is going to come your way if you don't get a story right. I mean, it's just accepted. We all get stuff wrong. Each and every one of us always get stuff wrong. But with, Diana Russini, she laughed about it, then got promoted, and then got a gig with the New York Times and the Athletic. So, whether what she's accused of as to how she's getting the information, whether that's true or not, it really doesn't matter to me. But stop being so naive, right? Stop being so really pompous to the story, okay? It's about jealous members of the media who aren't getting the same access. They're blaming her for doing something to get an extra advantage when, again, this has been going on forever. I tell you what I feel bad for is the stereotype. You know, just when you thought it was safe to finally eliminate that in this particular field, this episode right here, this circumstance right here, paints a negative light on women trying to start out in this position, women who become very successful. And, you know, if you look good, they're going to start to ask questions. That's awful. That's damaging. I mean, I thought it's changed. I remember being in the Jaguars locker room when Bonnie Bernstein walked in there. Okay, I used to have a beer or two with several guys on that team back in the mid-90s. I saw what sports was like then and how women in the world of the media were treated then compared to the way they're treated now. And it's night and day. It's change. This is damaging. This should be the worst part of it. The ladies should be upset. The women who have worked hard to make it to where they are, they should be upset because of this. Not overfed dudes wearing Eagles hats. No. I mean, absolutely not. It makes just very little sense to me. I mean, this is a day after, actually it came in last night late on the program, that you had the piece that was launched on Rory, right? Alan Shipnuck, one of my favorite golf writers. Blood, Sweat, and Tears, a tremendous book going back 25 years ago. On Rich Beam and the late caddy Steve Duplantis and sleeping in cars and trying to make it on the PGA. I mean, just a phenomenal piece. I'm telling you right now, even though it's aged, I think there's a new revision to it where, you know, Beam went out and won a major, maybe added to the back of the book. But it's one of my favorite books of all time. Shipnuck yesterday came out with his new piece, Rory. Just destroying McIlroy, okay, for everything he does off the golf course. Again, the young lady at CBS, rumored to be, Amanda Balionis, rumored to be with Rory McIlroy, perhaps being in the middle of breaking up that marriage. It's juicy. People love it, okay? In this case, I don't think if there was something going on, it was because Balionis was getting inside information on Rory and his game that others were not getting. But that's what made it so intriguing, is that something that is not against the law, but is certainly very unethical, especially in the case here with Rossini and Vrabel, where you're talking about two folks who are married. So let's just separate, you know, the fluff from what really matters. You want to know. Okay, those who are going crazy. You want to know what's going on between these two. Not, oh my God, I can't believe this, that A.J. Brown stuff. I mean, he only got that, or he got that and gave it to her, and she went with it. She's the only one who went with it. She's got, again, that's been going on forever. They're old school, right? I mean, you go back to the days of Babe Ruth drinking beer, chasing prostitutes with writers. Could you imagine if there was social media in the days that Mickey Mantle and Billy Martin hit the bars in the 5 boroughs? Writers forever have been a part of that. The media has always been a part of that. And it's the same situation here. It's just we have social media, we have cameras everywhere. And again, I think there's also a very large segment of people that enjoy it when others are facing a difficult situation. Let's create misery for them. I'm not happy enough with my personal life, so let's jump on. And maybe I just spent 7 or 8 minutes on it, but I'm almost in a way trying to defend it and tell you that this is not out of the norm. This is very typical. They just got caught. It's been going on forever. Those who are really long-toothed in this business, you name a former lady member. You know what? I'm not going to get down that road because it's not worth it. Again, that's what's disturbing to me. And I saw quite a few people put that on social media that are trying to make hay in the business, trying to move up in the business. And especially if they look good, the stereotype and the assumption is that they must be pulling off some sort of a Diana Rossini. And that's not true. There are people who work really hard and get by because they're good at what they do. They do more than get by. They thrive because they're good at what they do. So there you have it. But it would have been cool to have Diana Rossini stick that mic right in front of Hank Aaron and say, Hank, it looked like a 77-mile-an-hour fastball. What went through your head as that ball was coming to the plate? There you go. We are jam-packed tonight. I'll tell you that tonight's show is always brought to you by the good folks over at Shmunez Vision. Okay? It's a big week in golf. Maybe you're a golfer. If so, all the power to you. You have trouble figuring out where the pin is, right? And then you pick up the Ranger and you're like, that's 110 yards. Then all of a sudden you zero in on it and it's 140 yards, right? I mean, that's not laughable. It's curable. And that's one of the many things that you can get done at Shmunez Vision. Make yourself an appointment today. Get an examination. Get a prescription update. And then ask Dr. Neil Shmunez, what about laser eye surgery? Dr. Catherine Shmunez, Dr. John Hunt, more than 37 years worth of experience. If you also believe that there's something going on that could be problematic, get ahead of it. Get in there, okay? Could be a simple remedy. Could be an allergy. If surgery is needed, again, I just took you through it. They've been around, and they've done this so successfully, heading to almost 40 years. So want you to really take advantage of that. Go to Shmunez Vision. Also go to Instagram, get the very latest at Shmunez Vision. All right, this is a great night in Duval. The eve of the Masters. We're going to cover it for you with a couple of different guests. Also, John Osher coming up at 7 o'clock, the very latest on the Jaguars, as we will meet with James Gladstone and Liam Cohen tomorrow at the Miller Electric Center. It is their pre-draft press conference.
Join the great adventure.
Come on.
The Drill.
Jaguars Today.
XL Prime Time. The Franchi Show.
Rick Ballou.
Packer After Dark on 1010 XL.
Frank Frangie here. It's Truck Month at Nimnick Chevrolet. Bigger and better than ever. Nimnick Chevrolet is offering supplier pricing for every one of those new Chevy Silverados. The same pricing normally reserved for GM supplier companies, now open to the public. And I'll tell you this, when you deal with Nimnick, it's good folks, man. They're going to treat you right when you buy it. They're going to treat you right after you buy it. They're going to treat you right always. I can guarantee you that. Shop at NimnickChevy.com or head to this dealership at the corner of Park and Castle. Who treats you better? Nobody but Nimnick Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Indoor golf in Ponte Vedra is here. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Play the best courses in the world at Back Nine Golf. Top simulators, analytics to improve your game, or just have a blast with friends or a client. Get this, you can bring your own beverages, including cocktails. Go to back9golf.com, book a tee time today. Membership opportunities, lessons, Back Nine Golf in Ponte Vedra, next to Nice High School. Back Nine Golf, where golf never sleeps.
Who's got the game to tame the challenging terrain of Augusta National?
Scheffler outshines them all at Augusta.
Listen for 1010XL Masters updates, pitched by TopDressing.com and LiveForeverGolf.com.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
What if the next roof you put on your home was the last one? Not another replacement in 15 or 20 years, the last roof. Metlock Roofing is Florida's only manufacturer and installer of this exclusive roofing system. Engineered for strength, built for Florida weather, backed by a lifetime warranty. Imagine never needing another roof. Call 938-9933 or visit metlokroofing.com. Get your last roof today with Metlock. License number CCC 1335581.
This is Victor Patel, CEO of North Florida Medical Center. Have you been in an auto accident? Are you feeling pain or stiffness? Our board-certified team has over 15 years' experience helping patients recover through chiropractic care, physical therapy, pain management, primary care, and neurology. Even minor injuries can cause long-term problems if left untreated. Schedule your free consultation today at nfmcjax.com. North Florida Medical Center, bringing the care back to healthcare.
All right, sports fans, Hicken here, and let's talk skin. Beaches Dermatology reminding you all to wear your sunscreen. Summer's almost here, gang, and that means more time outside. You're grabbing the clubs for your tea time. You're heading out to the boat. Just headed to the beach. Definitely bring the sunscreen. Hey, Mother's Day is coming up, so get your lady a gift card for some skin care. We know women love their skin. Beaches Dermatology, give them a call. I've been seeing them for years, and my skin thanks me for it. Call today online at beachesdermatology.com. Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long, drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Just like the summer rain. We needed it. We got a little around here. Thank goodness. Scotty Scheffler, he is your favorite to win the Masters. Of course, he's done it twice. Did it back in 22 and in 24. He has not played well as of late. Top 20s, out of the top 20 in his last couple of events. He pulled himself out of the Texas Open in Houston a couple of weeks ago because his wife had a baby boy. Everyone right now is in Augusta, enjoying themselves there with the Scheffler family. All right, much more on him in just 1 second. Tonight's show brought to you by the Alexander Law Practice. I'm going to tell you more about them in a little bit. Scotty Scheffler has shown some frustration. He's very animated. Or at least he's becoming more animated on the golf course when things don't work out, well for him. And right now he's 82nd in strokes gained on approach. He's 128th in total driving efficiency. He's so good that he's able to overcome that. But it's a little bit of a change. Remember, earlier in his career, it felt like everything he did, even with the orthodox swing or unorthodox swing, everything that he did basically came down to whether or not he could make a putt. Now he's not playing the way that he once was. And listen, I'm a Scheffler guy. I like him. But I'm a little taken back by his comments again yesterday. Talking about this event, talking about the game. And, he went as far as to say that winning or losing isn't going to define him. And that he's a man of faith and he is a family man. Okay, and I get all that. That's nice. That's nice. Okay? But I do have a little bit of an issue of a professional athlete, certainly one who is the very best at his craft, going down the road of, well, it's important to me, but it's not everything to me. No kidding. We get that. It doesn't need to be said. Grit your teeth, grind it out, fix your swing, and try to win the Masters. You don't have to tell us about winning or losing. That is not going to define you. Well, when I think of Scottie Scheffler, I'm not going to think of him as a family man with 2 young kids. I'm not going to think of him as a man of faith. When I think of Greg Norman, I think of him crumbling at Augusta. When I think of Tiger Woods, I think of a guy who would walk through a freaking pit of coals to win at Augusta. Phil Mickelson with a, Phil, what are you doing? No, Phil, don't hit that club. No, Phil, no. Phil would have done anything to win. Trevor Lawrence took a lot of crap around here when he said football doesn't define me. Okay? And he sounded it out. He explained it. But still, he took a lot of criticism for that. Same thing. He cares about family. He cares about faith. He cares about his character. Okay? I mean, all very noble. But can you imagine, for starters, the Jacksonville Jaguars are playing in the Super Bowl? It's media day. It's Trevor Lawrence at the podium. And he says, yeah, this is a big game. Well, sure, we work hard to get to the Super Bowl. But I'm not going to allow this to define me. If we win, great. If we lose, I got a great family. And I'm a man of character. How would you react? To me, it's the same thing. The difference, okay, he's got 4 majors. He's won 2 Masters. The problem, he's not playing well. Okay? He's struggling right now. He's struggling off the tee. He's struggling with his irons. Is golf as important to him right now as it once was? James Gladstone wants to bring in people here who love the game of football. Does Scottie Scheffler right now love the game of golf? Would he rather be at home with his wife and kids? Probably, sure. But at the very best at what you do, why do you have to pick that and make it a story? I just 100% disagree with it. And the reason being is it's not because I don't love my family, and it's not because I don't have faith. And yeah, I complain here on the radio, and yeah, I talk about having a drink and smoking a cigar, but for the most part, I would like to think I'm a human being of decent character. Man, I'm all about work ethic. I am all about effort. Every problem I've ever had in radio is because I believe others are not working nearly as hard as I am. And that's it. End of story. It may be interrupting me. So I don't like this from a champion. I don't like it at all. I can't see Jack Nicklaus doing this. I can't see Arnold Palmer doing this. I know Tiger Woods wouldn't do this. And I think it's been a missed story. There's just other ways to say it. You know, I rip Nick Foles whenever I'm given the chance about him telling you as a Jaguar fan to, oh, you got to deal with the trials and tribulations. Screw that. Who are you to tell Jaguar fans to be patient? That was more ignorance than arrogance because he didn't do his research. He looked at one film, and that was before the Super Bowl, and saw the Jaguars in that cowardly freaking fourth quarter with Nate Hackett and Doug Marrone, which should have been a fireable offense, even though they were in the AFC Championship game, for crying out loud. So, he's a champion, people. You don't have to tell us what we already do understand. And it's almost like, in my mind, it's like a convenient built-in excuse. Well, I'm not going to let it define me. Winning or losing. I'm going to be, no kidding, you're going to be okay. I mean, you're a multi-millionaire. You got a beautiful of course you're going to be all right. You got people who get out of bed every damn day who work paycheck to paycheck, grind it out in a world that they don't love, and they have to give 110%, yet I'm okay. Win or lose, it's not going to define me. It's crap. By Scott Scheffler. It's crap. And it's disappointing. Champions are the best. Mickey Andrews told me no one worked harder than Deion Sanders. No one. Former Florida State defensive coordinator. Go back and look at the workouts of Walter Payton. Go back and look at the workouts of Jerry Rice. The best of the best of the best of the best. Tiger Woods. Well, Tiger's got issues. Who cares if he's got issues? Can you imagine Tiger Woods say, winning or losing ain't going to define me? I mean, what? Are you serious? Tiger Woods would have, he's from what? He's from, what? He went to school at Stanford. Tiger Woods would have left a month early. He would have walked from Stanford to Augusta if it meant he had an opportunity to win the Masters. And your champion today, Scotty Scheffler, is like, yeah, it's not going to define me. There's your difference. Is that just where we are as a culture? Or are the days of really putting absolutely everything into trying to win, and that's the only thing that matters, are those days gone?
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies. Now, a Masters update on 1010XL. Teed up by TopDressing.com and LiveForeverGolf.com.
From the Augusta National Golf Club, Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Masters. Sponsored by Grainger. For the ones who get it done, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade products for your industry, next-day delivery, and free technical support. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. It's the first time Jacob Bridgman has earned an invitation to the Masters, and he is taking it all in this week, including the par 3 contest today.
I think just every night when I've gone home, I've kind of been bummed that the day was over and, I had to leave the course and stop practicing. But come Thursday, I think I'll be ready. I'm ready to compete a little bit, but the practice has been a lot of fun. This is one of the coolest things I've ever done. Getting to walk around, see all the kids, and have my wife caddy is special.
Yeah, Haley is Bridgman's wife, and she saw her husband finish as the runner-up at the par 3 contest with a score of 5 under. Bridgman could be a threat this week. He won a signature event at Riviera earlier this year, his first PGA Tour victory. Aaron Rai won the Crystal Bowl today at 6 under, but no one has ever won the green jacket days after winning the par 3 contest. You're listening to coverage of the 2026 Masters on Westwood One.
This is the story of the One. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
It is Masters Tournament Eve. Tomorrow morning, Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player, and Tom Watson, 11 Masters titles among them, will hit the ceremonial tee shots to start the tournament. John Kiefer and Haotong Li are in the first group to tee off at 7:40 a.m. Eastern. Defending champion Rory McIlroy goes at 10:31 Eastern. He is with the reigning Players champion Cameron Young and the U.S. amateur champion from a year ago, Mason Howell. In the afternoon, world number one Scotty Scheffler in the second to last group at 1:44 Eastern, with Big Bob McIntyre from Scotland and Gary Woodland, the former U.S. Open champion. John Rahm, another past Masters champion, tees off at 1:08. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnicht Buick GMC is proud to be Jacksonville's #1 Buick GMC dealer. How do they earn that? By treating you right. I was just in there. I promise you they treated me right. They'll always treat you right. Courtesy, respect, and fairness. That sounds like a cliche, but it really is part of Nimnicht's treating you right guarantee, and I'm an example of it. I love going over there, and I really do trust them. So if you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle or a new vehicle, head to Nimnicht today. Better selection, better prices. Who delivers both? Nobody but Nimnicht. Head there today. GMC, we are professional grade.
What if your next fun day out costs you $70 to play all day? That's exactly what you get at the Battalion Airsoft Arena, the only indoor airsoft battlefield in Jax. Skip the same old boring entertainment choices and step into real action with your crew. Perfect for birthdays, company team building, graduation parties, or just epic weekend fun. No experience, no problem. The Battalion package includes everything: gun, mask, and ammo with unlimited play. So lock in your mission now at BattalionAirsoftArena.com.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins. Fighting for your rights since 1975.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
I just got another NBA offer from Hard Rock Bet.
A Hard Rock Bet promo at the Hard Rock Bet Party? That is so meta.
That's not meta. That's Meta World Peace. Meta. Tell them about Hard Rock Bet.
Hard Rock Bet has it all. Live odds for every NBA game, every player prop, same game parlays, you name it. It's the only place I play these days.
Okay, now that is meta.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Did you know your roof ages from the inside out? By the time you see a leak, damage already exists beneath the shingles. Sun exposure, humidity, and seasonal storms slowly weaken roofing materials over time. If your roof is 15 years old or more, then now's the time to start planning, not reacting. At Endless Summer Roofing, we provide professional inspections and clear guidance so you can make informed decisions. Visit EndlessSummerRoofing.com to schedule a free inspection. Endless Summer Roofing, protecting your home from Florida's endless summer.
Kubota keeps job sites running smoothly with the #1 selling compact excavator lineup in the world. Reliable, capable, and backed by strong dealer support. Stop by today and power up your crew. Right now, bring home select Kubota excavators with 0% financing available, or save up to $7,000. Now through June 30th, see store or go to KubotaUSA.com/disclaimers for full disclaimer. Coastal Equipment on New Kings Road and in McClenny.
Hello, all you Jacksonville sports fans. Don here from Taco Lou. If you're in the mood for some great tacos, cold Dos Equis, maybe even a sip of some fine tequila, then the Lou is calling your name. Come out to Jax Beach and experience what many have dubbed the #1 taco in the 904. There are plenty of great taco joints in town, and we're proud to have been around for this long, and we have only you, the fine people of Jacksonville, to thank for helping us grow and become who we are today. Cheers to you, Jacksonville, and thank you from the Lou crew. Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach.
Owning a house is kind of like being in an argument with your house. One day, it's the AC saying, I'm tired. The next day, it's the plumbing going, good luck finding that leak. Then the septic system joins the conversation. And nobody likes what it has to say. That's when you call Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. One team that handles all three: plumbing, septic, and air conditioning. So the next time your house tries to win the argument, call Duck Duck Rooter. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC. home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
90th Masters will get underway tomorrow morning at 7:10. Actually, make that 7:40. And, of course, it's a par 72 unless you're Bryson DeChambeau. You think it's a par 67. It'll play 7,565 yards. Your winner a year ago was Rory McIlroy. All sorts of talk about Rory, just none of it about him defending his title. We know that that hasn't happened since 2001, 2002. When Tiger Woods was able to accomplish it. All right, let's take a look at things from a handicap perspective. Let's bring in my buddy. He is the Boston Capper. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, Rick. How are you?
I hope you like Sonny Gray and not like the the Red Sox have been awful, but how about the Bruins, man? They can't score.
I know. It's I don't know, man. We're gonna lose to Buffalo. Are we going to lose to Buffalo in the first round of the playoffs? I can't see it. That's just a loser franchise, loser DNA. I think we can at least get one round.
Yeah, we've been talking about quite a great bit around here the last couple of months. Buffalo has not made the playoffs since 2011. They're going in. So the longest streak in sports is the New York Jets. They haven't been in the playoffs in 2010. All right, what do you make of this? 6 amateurs, 22 first-timers, 18 past champions, many of which are past their prime, part of this 91-player field. So it is easy to start, chopping some wood and knocking down the percentages here. But then again, knowing you, picking the overall winner is almost like a side. It's so many other things that you'll do here handicapping this event over the next 4 days.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially because the matches odds get released so early in the year. So lots of guys can catch numbers. Like I got buddies who got Matt Fitzpatrick tickets because they believed when he was doing the DP World Tour, they got it, towards the tail end of last year, sitting at 120 to 1. Now he's all the way down to 20 to 1, 18 to 1 at places. So I don't bet things like that. But, I mean, look, it is basically a signature event at this point, right? We're almost kind of used to fields like this. There is a cut. But like you said, there's so much dead weight at the bottom. Most of these guys are going to make the cut. And most of the time, the best golfer coming in wins or at least contends. So it's usually the top of the board that hits. Hideki was really the only outlier who wasn't showing anything before he hit.
All right. What do what have your research and everything you've put into it, are you going to do head-to-head here? You're going to do a cut score? Are you going to be top 10s, top 20s? What is really your expertise going in?
Yeah, so what's crazy is we really like the -13 to be the winning score, and every book hung it at like -13.5. So we kind of stayed away from that one.
Okay.
They're starting to get sharper information too. But yeah, lots of matchups, lots of placements, lots of fun bets on it. The Masters, it's kind of like the Super Bowl. Overexpose yourself. Don't worry about the ROI. Just have fun. Like hole 16, yes for a hole in one, right? Do on 16 because we haven't got it in a couple of years. They kind of screwed us last year with the pin placement, but there's going to be like no wind. It's going to be great weather. So I think the hole-in-one at +130 on 16, I think we'll get a Sunday hole-in-one.
All right. What about taking, I want to say 6 of the last 9 champions have been, Scheffler, Rahm, DeChambeau, and Rory. Can you group it like that and take one of those 4 or the field? Is that an option for you?
No, so I mean, I bet my outright. I took Ludwig at a crappy number because it's his 3rd time. There's all types of crazy trends out there, but some of them seem to hit. The matches are the place you learn as you go along. He's mixed both times he's been there. So I like Ludwig. I like Xander outright just because he's doing everything right. He's coming in, nobody's talking about him, but Xander's definitely a 3 major guy in my opinion. So I like those 2 on the top of the board. But I'm not going with Scotty. Something's off with his iron, the famous last words. But Jon Rahm, I don't know what he's doing. I don't watch LIV. And so it's hard for me to believe whatever stats are coming out of there. And then Rory with the defending champ narrative, that's just pretty tough.
Yeah, interesting stuff. The Boston Capper, our guest, the Masters gets underway in the morning. I was going to ask you about the LIV guys because whether it's Rahm or whether it's, DeChambeau, they both have played well on the LIV Tour as of late. They've won events. They've had top 5s. And, of course, odds-wise, they're among the leaders. How do you look at that? It feels like the lack of competition compared to, what is a grind week to week on the PGA Tour.
It absolutely is. And listen, I know a lot of sharp guys who I respect their opinion. Rahm is very, very popular in the outright market. and all types of different markets. But I just can't. I just basically ignore it, and if they beat me, they beat me because I have the same opinion as you. Like it's not. I mean, was it 3-4 real golfers, and then that's it? And they're playing Mickey Mouse courses all over the place. Like I'm good. Like I'll just pass on it. The closest thing I got to live is I like Patty Reed a lot this week.
Mhm.
Like walking top 5. His top 20 price is pretty good, 2-1. So I mean, I'll take that all day.
You know, I've chosen Oberg to win the Masters. I picked him at the Players, and you know I felt good about it until he had the collapse with the 2 balls on the water on the back 9.
Dude, that hurt so bad.
Yeah, it did hurt, but I mean he's only played twice, and he had a number 2 finish in 2024. He had a 7th place finish a year ago. So I love the pick, but now I'm starting to see more and more people jump on this pick. You know, that old adage that if the public's going one way, you go against them.
So I will say this. I actually talked about this on my show on Sunday night. So the golf betting community, not like the people who come in just for majors and things like that, but the data that we're getting and the amount of like what we call community wins, they're really up there. Like the data we're getting, that community is very sharp. I use the example of it's not like football where you immediately see where 80% of the money is and you just bet blindly on the other side. You don't do that anymore with golf. The last 2 years, like the people who've been being backed by the week in, week out golf bettors, they've been hitting at a pretty good rate.
You know, the algorithms and the analytics, they come into play in team sports, and we talk about it. I do on the field, not necessarily as a trend or in a wagering aspect. Just to follow up what you just said, are you noticing that in this sport, the sport of golf, those numbers are used more than any other?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, maybe baseball because the nerds in the front office have tried to ruin baseball. But I mean, these guys, they're TrackMan golfers, man. They know their spin rates. They know everything. And then for us gambling on it, I mean, we can change the type of around the green that we're looking at. Is it shaved off areas? Is it thick green? Like you can whittle it down to as nitty gritty as you want, and the data's good.
Yeah.
And the PGA provides the data, and there's all types of guys out there right now with like different models, and they teach you how to do it. The data's good, and it drives a huge portion of the golf betting community. I use it to back up my eyeball opinion.
Yeah.
Right. So, but there's some guys who they don't even watch golf; they just look at the numbers and place bets. That's it.
They don't even watch it. That's. No. I mean, I can imagine betting on something you don't watch, but hey, if it's going to make you money, it's going to make you money. All right, Boston Capper. For those who might have joined us midway through, leave us with a couple of plays that you really like beginning tomorrow morning.
Sure. All right. So if you want to get started in the morning, you can do Andrew Novak first round 3-ball versus Tom McKibben and Brian Campbell. We just talked about the LIV Tour. Tom McKibben is not even good on that tour. And then Brian Campbell is the short. Like I think me and you can outdrive him, Rick. So he's got no hope here, and Novak's starting to show a little stuff. Love that. Corey Connors, force for the course, top 20, plus 250. The guy always performs well here. Taking the last 2 weeks off, but he's always done well here. And if you're looking for first round leaders, the morning it's not going to be over 60 degrees until like 12:30. So if you're looking for first round leaders, take a look at some of the guys going off later. Siwoo, Justin Thomas, always starts out strong, even though he fades over the weekend. So I like the afternoon guys for that. And like I said, Patty Reed, top 20, hole in one, yes. And then throw some money on the Swedish Prince.
There you have it. Are you there, by the way? I know you go quite a bit.
No, no, I'm not there this year.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's and listen, it's great to go to, and it's just out of this world. But you can't beat watching it and seeing every shot in front of the TV.
You can't. No. So like I never go on Sundays. I make sure I'm home on Sundays.
Tell us how our listeners can get your show.
So I'm on the Inside Sports Network. It's called Hold the Green. You can find it wherever you get all your podcasts. And I'm on Twitter, not as much as I used to be because the place is a crazy house now. But it's Boston_Capper on Twitter.
All right, Boston Capper. Good to hear from you, and appreciate it. We need to get out and play ourselves soon.
We do. We do. Hit me up, man.
There he goes, Boston Capper. So some interesting stuff on what you can bet on. Again, I'm a huge fan of the entire operation. I'm just not I'm not practicing right now, and I don't have the itch, and nor do I want to have the itch. But it does feel like algorithms and everything you throw into the computer, all that stuff. I mean, we talk analytics all the time, Pro Football Focus, all that stuff, but it's basically after the game. It's how they really, what they did on the field. I don't use a lot of that input at all when it comes to, well, I'm taking this team because of this reason. Now, I look at the obvious stuff. Points scored, points allowed, third down conversion rate, time of possession, turnover to takeaway ratio, penalties, home, away, night, day, indoor, outdoor, all of that, and so much more. But I really don't look at those numbers. I think golf is a sport where if you're a big-time player, you need to learn how to take advantage of that. But anyway. That in itself feels like it would be pretty difficult to do. Remember, just listening to someone, it's been told time and again that you go against the public, you're going to win. So everyone now on Ludwig Oberg, who I'm picking. Yeah, but then again, the Philly Godfather, just absolutely went crazy with his picks during March Madness and hit and hit and hit and hit. All right, we got a ton to do. Thank you to the Boston Capper. Coming up at 7 o'clock, it's going to be John Osher of Jaguars.com. We got a lot of football to dive into as well on this Wednesday.
Play-by-play just makes everyday life better.
I did not see this one coming.
Get the most play-by-play on 1010XL, Jacksonville's play-by-play sports radio.
When you're injured, you need more than legal advice. You need someone who truly cares. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, I take pride in what we do. You're never just another case. We take the time to listen, guide you through the process, and fight for your recovery every step of the way. And remember, you pay nothing unless we win. Zip, nada, nothing. Learn more at CampioneLaw.com. Offices, Jacksonville and St. Augustine.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Make Capital Glass and Shower Doors your premier choice for top-quality glass solutions. With over 40 years of expertise, their team specializes in commercial and residential projects. From elegant shower doors to modern frameless enclosures, they've got you covered. But that's not all. They also offer glass railing systems, glass wine cabinets, and much more. For unmatched quality and service, choose Capital Glass and Shower Doors. Your vision, their expertise. Visit online at capcoglass.com.
Tired of changing out bad sod year after year? Get it done right with Roundtree Sod. Big or small, they have it, and always supplied farm fresh. For a lush, legendary green lawn, call 7414-SOD for a free estimate. 7414-SOD.
Jacksonville, are you ready to get back to the activities you love this spring? McHugh Health has helped patients for over 10 years relieve joint pain and rebuild tissue without surgery. Their regenerative medicine therapies reduce inflammation and restore mobility so you can hit the golf course, pickleball court, or softball field with ease. Don't live with pain. Schedule your free consultation today at McHughHealth.com. That's MCHUGH Health.com.
Surf into Summer Surf Camp. Jacksonville and its beaches' #1 surf camp is now registering for camps this summer. For registration and session dates, go to surfintosummer.com. Surf into Summer, Jacksonville Beach's premier surf camp.
I'm Frank Franzi, and I just got back from the farm at Okefenokee in Folkestone. Man, was I impressed. You have to see these handcrafted cabins, but act fast. On this 1,000-acre farm, there will only be 250 cabins. Each phase has jumped in value, so come get your lot and lock in your equity. Enjoy living in harmony with nature, going to the grocery store in your own backyard, and connecting with people grounded in food and purpose. Learn more at okefarm.com. That's OKEfarm.com.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental, with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
Ready to put your dream car in drive? Get solid rates for the road ahead when you finance with First Florida Credit Union. Enjoy competitive low rates, up to 90 days of no payments and budget-friendly protection plans. Whether you're buying a vehicle or refinancing, stop by a branch or apply online at firstflorida.org/auto loans. Membership eligibility required. Interest accrues during loan payment deferral period. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit firstflorida.org/auto loans.
Southwest Greens is the OG of artificial turf in North Florida. Stop mowing and start chipping or putting or just relaxing with a beautiful backyard, maintenance free. Log on to southwestgreensofjacksonville.com to see what they can do to your backyard.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I was sorry to hear about the passing today of Davey Lopes, one of the, second baseman and one of the great infields in the modern day era of Major League Baseball, with Steve Garvey at first base, Bill Russell over at short, and the Penguin, Ron Cey, at third base. 80 years of age. 4-time All-Star, 10 years with the Dodgers, won a championship in 81. Actually, 1,145 games as a leadoff hitter, second only to Maury Wills, who's in the Hall of Fame. He started his career in the bigs at 27. Boy, that's a late start. And then for 8.5 years, again, he was with the other three guys that I mentioned. One of the most prolific base stealers in the history of the game. Stole 418 with the Dodgers. How about this? He has a franchise record, 83.1% career success rate when stealing a base. Also, later in his career, was a manager. Was for a couple of years in Houston. Was it Houston or Milwaukee? He managed Milwaukee. Then he went on to be a coach in Baltimore, San Diego, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, and back to Los Angeles. This is the guy I grew up watching, 70s and 80s. It seems like we lose an athlete like this. It feels like almost bi-weekly. And I got a ton of old school Davey Lopes baseball cards, man. That was great. Again, you just knew that infield. You knew the outfield. What? Reggie Smith. I got to take a break here. Dusty Baker was in that outfield. Who's the third guy? Had to have been a fast guy. Dusty. And anyway, it'll come to me during the break. But rest in peace there, Davey Lopes. All right, let's get caught up because John Osher's going to join us here in just a couple of minutes. Good to have you with us. This is Into the Night.
It's not girl talk, it's sports talk.
Coming after you!
Tom McManus adds his helmet to the heels with Lauren Brooks and Taylor Dahl.
Let's talk football.
Football! Catch the pros' point of view afternoons 2 to 4 on 1010XL. Now, a Masters update on 1010XL, teed up by TopDressing.com and LiveForeverGolf.com.
From the Augusta National Golf Club, Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Masters, sponsored by Liberty Mutual. Liberty Mutual customizes your auto and home insurance as you only pay for what you need. Bryson DeChambeau has a little scar tissue at Augusta National. The two-time U.S. Open winner could not keep up with Rory McIlroy in the final pairing last year and tied for fifth.
The last group final round gave me a lot of great perspective on it and losing it. And then, Rory completing the Grand Slam. I mean, he earned it, right? And it was really cool to see in person. As I reflect back on it, the one thing I can take from it is that I can put myself in those positions, right? And the more I put myself in those positions, the better opportunities I'm going to have to win. I certainly hope to give it my all and put myself back in that position because I want to feel it again.
DeChambeau had some fun today at the par 3 contest with comedian Kevin Hart as his caddy. Hart in the full white jumpsuit and green cap. DeChambeau even had him tee it up at the final hole, the 9th, and Hart put it directly into the water. You're listening to coverage of the 2026 Masters on Westwood One.
Need to sell your house fast? Whether you're facing foreclosure, stuck with bad tenants, or just ready for a fresh start, House Buyer Network can help. We buy homes as is for cash. No fees, no commissions, no repairs. Get a fair cash offer in just 24 hours and close in as little as 7 days. Call 833-719-5877 now for your free no-obligation offer. That's 833-719-5877. House Buyer Network. Fast cash, no hassle.
Offers are typically below market value in exchange for speed and convenience. Call for details.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Only 17 players put up a score at the par 3 contest today at Augusta National. It's the event everyone wants to be a part of, and no one wants to win. It's a day to have fun with family and friends, but the par 3 jinx is real. No player has won it and the green jacket in the same week. Aaron Rai didn't care. He's taking home an engraved crystal bowl as the winner. Final score 6 under par. One better than Jacob Bridgman and John Kiefer. 4 players put up a hole-in-one today. Justin Thomas, Wyndham Clark, Keegan Bradley, and Tommy Fleetwood. Thomas says he won $1,000 from his playing partners, Jordan Spieth and Max Homa, with that ace, and Bradley became the first player to have an ace at back-to-back par 3 contests. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
Attention business owners and sales professionals. Still hearing, I need to think about it? Pat McManaman from Sandler Sales. We can help. There's a 2-day sales boot camp in Jacksonville, May 13th and 14th. We'll show you how to handle objections and close more deals without being pushy. Call us at 904-646-1900 for more details. 646-1900. Let's get your business and top-line revenue growing.
Termite swarms are active right now in Jacksonville, and once they get inside, damage can happen fast. Termites don't knock, they silently attack the structure of your home, leaving behind costly repairs and long-term headaches. Protect what you've worked hard for with the proven protection homeowners trust. Terminix Safe, with advanced termite treatment and prevention solutions. Visit Terminix.com and schedule your free termite inspection today.
MyGate Rewards members, this deal is just for you. Right now, grab any 2 12-ounce Red Bulls and get 2 of your favorite Roller Grill items for just $1. When you need a boost, Gates got you. See store for details.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Frank Frangie here for Coil Fencing. Since 1927, Jacksonville has trusted Coil Fencing to protect what matters. And I trust them too. From tough chain link to your commercial project to sleek aluminum fencing your HOA will love, Coil does it all. Did you know that Coil can also install, service, and maintain those automatic gates that help protect your neighborhood or business? To schedule a complimentary consultation, visit CoilJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com. Coil Fencing, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Got a dent or a scratch that needs fixing? San Jose Collision in Mandarin offers expert auto body repair and works with all insurance. Family owned and locally trusted. San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. It's time for Oh No's with Jaguars.com's John Osher. Oh no. Oh, really? Oh yeah.
All right, John Osher, our guest, each and every Wednesday. It's great to talk with the senior writer at Jaguars.com. All right, Jags have been busy, John, you and I, since we last talked. Let's get straight to it. Trayvon Walker, $110 million over 4 years, 77 of which is guaranteed.
Yeah, he's a core player. I mean, I would say to me, Trayvon, Brenton Strange, Josh Hines Allen, Trevor Lawrence. To me, those are your core guys, the guys that I kind of see next 2 or 3 years being your best players. There's more guys than that, but Trayvon, to me, is the best player on the defense. He's your rock. I think he's the identity in terms of toughness, strength. This team, under Liam Cohen, wants to be a tough team. They want to be able to out-physical the other guy across line of scrimmage. And to me, Trayvon defines that.
When he obviously dealt with those injuries, the wrist was problematic. He missed games, and, he just wasn't able to do what he normally does. And, still very good against the run, but trying to create pressure. When you pay a guy like this, that talk of inside maybe here and there, like we saw against Buffalo, but he's going to remain a defensive end. What about working on his craft? He's so good at everything. You'd like to see those sack numbers get back to where they were in 23 and in 24. Are you aware of anything that they can do to work on it? I mean, he's got the spin move, he's got the bull rush move, just his overall technique. Where I look at a guy like Allen, it seems like he has more in his repertoire, if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think Josh is a speed edge guy. I think Trayvon plays the edge, but I think he's going to play inside quite a bit. I mean, I think he's going to be, when I think about Trayvon, I don't think about sacks as much as I think about a guy like Calais Campbell and the Hayward guy with Pittsburgh forever.
Mm-hmm.
4-time All-Pro, the leader and the soul of that defense. I don't know how many sacks he got, but every time I watched the Steelers, he jumped off the game and was the key to a very good defense for a long time. I know Trayvon will keep trying to get better as an edge rusher and is putting, pressure on the quarterback. I kind of think 10 or 11 might be the number that he gets most of the time when he's healthy. But I also think he's going to get, down the stretch, I think it was 3 or 4 straight games with 4th and 1 stops last year. A 4th and 1 stop for a loss. Do you count that as a sack? I mean, I kind of think that those plays mattered as much as some sacks, the ones he got down the stretch last year. So I don't know he's going to be a 17 sack guy, but I've gotten some emails to this effect, and I do know I don't want to see the Jaguars on the field without him.
Mm-hmm.
So that to me shows he's the core guy. I think he could play here 10 or 12 years and define your franchise along with Trevor Lawrence.
I've been under the impression, John, that they would get at least 2 of these done before camp. All right, it happens with now Walker. My world says it's Parker Washington who's next. Where are you when it comes to him? Anton Harrison, they're going to pick up the 5th year. Antonio Johnson, Brenton Strange. How many of them would be your estimation that they get accomplished before training camp gets underway?
Yeah, I think they would really like to get Strange and Washington done. I think it's maybe a touch easier to get Strange done. And I'm speaking in theory here, looking from the outside, because you sort of know what he is. I don't think he's ever going to be Kelsey in terms of just putting up huge touchdown receiving numbers. but I think he may wind up being the best combination tight end in the league when you factor in blocking in a couple of years. So you sort of know what he is, and you feel solid about what he's going to be. Parker, they want to get him done. I think the question is going to be, Parker Washington has had one good year where you sort of saw what he was, but I think he's still ascending to what he might be. So I don't know if it's going to be as easy to find what his value is, because he's a 700. I mean, we all sort of know he's better than a 1,000-yard receiver, but he hasn't had 1,000 yards yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know where I think both sides want to get it done. It's just a matter of where it gets done.
Yeah.
I think Antonio, I think with Anton, I think they may want to wait till after this year. Antonio could be during the season. Again, he's sort of a half a season guy right now, and he's really good late, but I don't know that you want to pay for half a season. And that's the difference with Walker, right? Like, you knew what he was in 23 and 24, and then he gutted through an injury. I think you feel safe knowing what Trayvon is. The other guys, I think you're still finding out, not if they're going to be good, but how good.
I think Spot Track, $14 million a year for Parker, 4 years, $56 million. I think that's team friendly. Doesn't mean that that's going to be the deal, but I was thinking with Parker, it's probably going to be, $18 to $20 million a year.
Yeah, and I think that may be where it's tough, because you can easily see, if I'm Parker Washington, again, I'm not saying anything animosity in these things, but if I'm Parker Washington, I'm looking at it and saying, I caught 5 touchdown passes at the end of last year. I was hot. I became the go-to guy. The Jaguars sort of look at it as the wide receivers are a group. They all complement each other. Parker's a really good part of that. But again, you keep going back to he was really good and had 5 touchdowns and about 800 yards receiving, because it was only, in maybe the last 10 games. Do they want to see more before they go to 18 or 19 million? Is that what Parker wants? I think we'd all want that, but I just think there may be some time to get that one done. But again, that's purely, I'm not hearing that. It just sort of seems like that could be the logic here with Parker on both sides.
John Oehser, our guest, he is the senior writer at Jaguars.com. All right, let's put the Dexter Lawrence situation into perspective. Of course, they'd love to have him. The other 31 teams in the NFL would love to have him. But what is the asking price? And it's all over the place. I've seen Eric Armstead in the 56th pick in this year's draft. I've seen a future first rounder next year, other picks, Brian Thomas Jr. I'm not giving up the player. I'm not giving up those picks. Where are you as far as what to give up if you could land Dexter?
I think it's a lot. I don't know that, do you want to give up BTJ and what he brings to this offense in terms of the deep threat? As soon as you give it up, you got to go find it again. And if you're giving up 56 in there, then you got to find it in the third round. I don't think you want to play without it. So I'm not sure that's the thing. I also, in next year's draft, it's a really good draft. Teams aren't anxious to give up equity in that draft. Now, the Jaguars would be looking at it, I think, as, hey, we think we're going to be in the bottom 5 or 6 picks of the first round. That makes it easier to get rid of, but then the Giants want more.
Mm-hmm.
So my guess is, if you couple it with the fact that, remember, Dexter's mad because of money. So he's going to want more money. So then you've got to come up and say, okay, now we're paying another core guy. When, to be honest, you've got some guys you still want to pay. Does that bother people in the locker room? That's not a huge factor, because players know what value is. I'd be a little surprised if that one happens, just because it feels like Quinnen Williams is the market. I'm sorry. Quinnen Williams, maybe above that, and he was a first and a second. So, as I said in the Ozone this week, anything's affordable, but that's a high end of affordable.
Yeah. Chris Jones as well got a ridiculous amount of money. It is pretty staggering, and Joe Schoen is on the hot seat there, so he doesn't want future picks. He's going to want a player, and he's going to want to pick this year if you make that trade.
Well, there's a lot of truth there, right? I mean, it's some teams are trying to get some pop to save jobs. Maybe that's what the Giants is, and I just wonder. Although he's really, really good, and this team is a win-now team, it's also got to look at the eye on the future, and this is a good draft coming up in 27. So it's an intriguing storyline.
Yeah, and I apologize for those who don't know, he is the general manager of the New York Giants. All right, let's wrap it up tomorrow. We'll have a nice lunch and get an opportunity here at the Miller Electric Center from James Gladstone and Liam Cohen. We talked about it recently at the owners' meetings. I thought there was a little bit more transparency there than I expected. So with that said, what about tomorrow? Do we get anything tasty out of either one of the two?
I'd be surprised because it kind of feels like whatever there was to say newsy was going to be at the league meeting. You know how the draft luncheon usually is. Hey, would you be willing to trade up? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be willing to trade back? Sure. So, I mean, it's sort of a copy and paste.
Is it a need pick or value pick?
Yeah, I mean, so I'd be surprised. I'm sure Lawrence will come up, meaning Dexter. I'm sure things like what we're talking about are going to come up. Trayvon will come up. Hey, why was it such great value? I'd be surprised if there's anything newsy. But as you said, one thing about Liam and James, they're not – if something's going on, they're not scared to say it, and they're willing to be transparent. So I'll be hoping there's a little bit of news, but I'm never surprised at the draft luncheon if it's just grabbing a chocolate chip cookie afterwards.
Yeah, no doubt. And I look forward to that. No doubt about it. All right, John.
No doubt.
I'll see you over there tomorrow.
Rick,
Thank you.
Thanks.
There he goes. John Osher, senior writer, Jaguars.com. All right, more on that coming up on the other side. We have more on the Masters as well as we continue to preview the 90th edition, which gets underway tomorrow morning at 7:50.
Where competition is king.
Wait a minute, who are you guys?
1010XL.
Indoor golf in Ponte Vedra is here. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Play the best courses in the world at Back Nine Golf. Top simulators, analytics to improve your game, or just have a blast with friends or a client. Get this, you can bring your own beverages, including cocktails. Go to back9golf.com, book a tee time today. Membership opportunities, lessons, Back Nine Golf in Ponte Vedra, next to Nice High School. Back Nine Golf, where golf never sleeps.
Divorce, menonly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to divorcemenonly.com. Divorcemenonly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
What's happening, beautiful people? E.T. here. Let me tell you about a little something that's happening right here in my side of town in Fleming Island. Encore Research Group is advancing the future of medicine through clinical research studies focused on weight loss, diabetes, hypertension, and more. Their team of multi-specialty doctors are proudly serving folks in Fleming Island, Green Coast Springs, and Middleburg. If you ever wondered whether a research study might be right for you, find out at EncoreDocs.com to see if you qualify. Encore Research Group. The future of medicine starts here.
Longer days, warmer nights, and a backyard that brings everyone together. Spring and summer in Florida means pool days, backyard barbecues, and night swims under the stars. Pickett here. For nearly 50 years, Surfside Pools have been creating the backdrops for life's best memories. From weekly service and repairs to remodels, commercial maintenance, and new pool construction, Surfside does it all. Ready to float happy? SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools. Summer starts here. License number CPC 044080.
Jacksonville, you're on the clock. When your oil change is due, don't waste your pick sitting at a dealership. At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, there's no appointment needed. Just pull in, stay in your car, and in 15 minutes, you're done. That's a smart pick. With convenient locations, a 4.7-star national rating, and named #1 quick lube for customer service by Forbes, Valvoline is the easy choice. Make the right call. Visit the newest Valvoline Instant Oil Change at Beach Boulevard and St. John's Bluff.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about not being afraid of the crosses of life. Life can be difficult. Maybe today you're carrying a cross of worry or stress. Let me encourage you to remember that when Christ got on the big cross at Golgotha, he destroyed all the little crosses that we face in our life. He set us free from fear, worry, and anxiety. Our job is not to be carried by the cross, but to be carried by our faith.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
We've all been there. You hear about an incredible event Monday morning, but it happens Sunday. Stop missing out. Jacksonville is the flip side of Florida, and we have the solution. From under-the-radar sporting events to the perfect family outing or date night, Visit Jacksonville is your all-access pass to the city. Plan your 2026 season at visitjacksonville.com/locals. visitjacksonville.com/locals. Or download the Visit Jacks app for the full lineup. See what you've been missing.
It's the event everyone waits for. Now at Beard's Diamonds. Buy one, get one free on all wedding bands. Save up to $10,000. Beard's has case after case of designer bands for men and women. In white gold, yellow gold, rose gold, titanium, and platinum. Buy his, get hers free. Buy hers, get his free. The big box corporate jewelry stores can't do this, but Beard's can. Buy one wedding band, get the second one free. Now through April 19th. Beard's Diamonds, your local jeweler at St. John's Town Center.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Yeah, I was watching an interview today with Freddie Couples, his 41st Masters. Pretty incredible. Some great memories as well for years and years with Freddie. And, always been very gracious with his time. Plus, right here at the Players, of course, success winning the event here as we are on the eve of the 90th Masters. 91 golfers will get after it in the morning. 6 amateurs, as we do know. Okay, there'll be 22 first-time players in this event, 18 past champions, including Fred Couples, out of the 91 who will give it a go. Let's bring in my buddy Aaron Dame. He is with Back Nine Golf, which we've talked a lot about around here on my show, on Prosser's show. As a matter of fact, we're in the very early stages of putting something together that's going to involve the listeners. That's going to be a whole heck of a lot of fun. But Aaron's a pro out there. He gives a lot of lessons. Gave me one a week ago, and he joins us here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Aaron, how you doing?
Rick, how are you, bud?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Appreciate a few minutes of your time. First things first, this story that came out today with the Masters supporting, rolling back the golf ball a little bit or trying to do something as far as the driving distance, whether it's the driver itself or the golf ball. What are your thoughts on the future of this game when it comes to fixing the equipment?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I fall more on the side of I don't really want to see a golf ball rollback, if I'm being honest with you. I think if we were to stop where we are now and make that the limit, I think the biggest change in the past 30 years has been it used to be that driver was one of the hardest clubs in the bag to hit. Nowadays, it's the most forgiving. We could limit the forgiveness of the drivers. A lot of things in the equipment side that I feel like could be done, as opposed to just doing the overall rollback on the golf ball. At the end of the day, I think if I have my numbers right, they're looking at maybe 10 to 15 yards of loss in distance. I don't see that making a huge difference. I'd like to see it more penal for guys not being able to go at it, 100% on every tee shot. Bring the rough more into play. I think things like that might go a little bit further than just doing a golf ball rollback.
You know, the reason why I mentioned Freddie Couples is during this interview today, he talked about, yeah, you could bomb at 325 off the tee, but if you overshoot the green and you three-putt, it doesn't really matter. And most believe it still comes down to the short game in putting, and I'm not going to argue with that. But what else can be done here? I mean, you can't tiger-proof any more of these courses. They always try to lengthen it. Do you see a situation where maybe they add, I hate to say bunkers in the fairway, but I mean, what other changes, Aaron, do you see could have an effect to try to keep these scores a little bit closer down to par?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you mentioned a good choice of, moving the bunkers to wherever that landing zone is. And, for guys these days, that's gotten longer and longer. So additional bunkers, I'm kind of old school. I like watching the U.S. Open where, the scores are, somewhere around par, where the rough is very penal, to where, if you do grip it and rip it, and you're a little bit offline, you're going to pay a cost for that. So I just feel like there's things that the golf courses can do that you don't have to add 100 yards to every tee shot. I think you can make it a bit more penal off the tee in those landing zone areas. Make it to where they run off or run out a little bit more at that distance. But to your point, the best players in the world are amazing inside of 100 yards. I mean, I see it all the time with guys that I work with. Lower handicap players generally have one thing in common. It's not that they all drive it straight. It's they're really good putters. They're really good around the greens. They know how to get the ball in the hole.
Aaron Dame's our guest. He is from Back Nine Golf, which we have been doing an awful lot with them here on the station. And again, we're going to have an event coming up that's going to involve listeners that I think for those of you who and I don't know if I get an opportunity to choose, which I want. I have a feeling they're going to make it a little bit more of register to win. But nonetheless, it's going to be pretty cool. And that's coming up in the very near future. Aaron Dame is with Back Nine Golf, and it's located right there on Phillips Highway, right before Nice on Phillips Highway. You can't miss it, the brand new location. All right, Scotty Scheffler, man, he's not playing, his normal way of golf. He's really struggled off the tee. He's struggled with accuracy. He's also 82nd right now on strokes gained on approach. What do you make of his game as he gets ready to tee off tomorrow? And, can he win? He's already won twice at Augusta. Your thoughts on him winning a third green jacket?
I would never count out Scotty Scheffler. I mean, I think we forget sometimes, how difficult this game can be. And even pros at that level, even Tiger, when he was winning all the time, there'd be stretches where, the game just wasn't in the best shape. But it wouldn't surprise me a bit to see him come out and play really, really well this weekend and be in the hunt on Sunday. And kind of going back to the equipment change that we talked about earlier, making the drivers a little difficult to hit. He went through an equipment change this year with TaylorMade. I think he went to their new model, then went back to the QI10.
Right.
A little bit of uncertainty there, which I think tends to creep into the back of the mind for every golfer. With that being said, though, I if you were going to put a little money on Scotty this weekend, I don't think it'd be the worst of ideas.
Yeah. All right. Who are you putting your money on? Who do you think wins the Masters?
I really like Olberg, to be honest with you. Two really good finishes, a second place finish. We saw what he did at TPC. I think he'd probably like to have a few shots back from that Sunday, but he's been in great form all year. Really controls his irons well. He can move it both ways. Pretty accurate driver of the golf ball. Only I think he's 23, 24 years old. Not a lot of scar tissue, and he plays fast. He gets up there and he hits it. Sometimes I think these guys can get a little bit too in their head on some of these shots, and he's a faster player. Like I said, not a ton of scar tissue, and I really like where his game's at this year.
Yeah, I'm going to pick him as well, and he now calls Jacksonville his home after playing at Texas Tech and lived in Tallahassee. He's now here in Duval. All right, as we let you go, tell us about Back Nine Golf because I popped in last week and you gave me a lesson. You taught me a couple of things that never occurred to me, which made a difference. And I'm going to meet you many more times there on the simulator. But I'll start by saying this. First off, it's on Phillips Highway right before Nice. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can bring your own beverages in. Before you know it, it's going to start raining. Before you know it, it's going to be 95 degrees. So if you're a night owl like me, you can play at night. This is great for companies, corporate events, individuals, buddies. Play the best golf courses in the world, plus get private lessons from Aaron. Tell us what else is going on right now at Back Nine and what our listeners need to know.
Yeah, I mean, things have been going great. Obviously, with the weather today, it was pretty packed out in there. A lot of guys taking advantage of, being able to be indoors and be on, just amazing technology. It's the same technology that's used on TV with TGL. So whether you're coming into practice or, like you said, get some buddies together, you can play, the world's best courses. Just a really, really good setup. Love to have the listeners out. Was happy to see you out there, and we got to work on a few things, and looking forward to getting your game in shape for the summertime. But yeah, things have been going great, and we're excited to have folks come out and check out the facility and watch the Masters this weekend and have a good time.
Yeah, gonna be a lot of fun, no doubt about it. And again, it's right out there before Nice on Phillips Highway, right there before Nice High School in that shopping little strip mall, if you will. And again, it's absolutely outstanding. But all sorts of opportunities for you, including memberships. And again, we're in the early stages here, but we're going to put together a contest with my show and Jeff Prosser's show. And Aaron Dame will be a big part of that as well. Aaron, always a lot of fun, man. Good to hear from you.
Thanks, Rick. I appreciate you.
All right, there he goes. Aaron Dame. Good stuff. And let me tell you, this place is, just magnificent. It really is. The simulator is pretty cool. And, it tells you things that me as a lover of the game, but someone who goes through spurts where I really don't get to play much. I don't play much during football season. I'm just into the grind. But spin rate and lift and, driving accuracy, both video and calculated numbers, I guess analytics or whatever it may be, it's just way better than anything I've ever witnessed before. So check them out. You can go to Back Nine. Just go to Back Nine Ponte Vedra online, Back Nine Golf Ponte Vedra online. And again, just got all the details there, phone number. We've been running the commercials here. I know that it has been working. Some people have been heading on out there. But if you don't want to play in the heat or you don't want to play in the rain, okay, or you just want to get out and have a good time, go out at night. That's what I'm thinking. When I line up my team, okay, I'm done at 8. I can get there by 8:30. I'm thinking about 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock tee time. You know what I'm saying, Aaron? I'm thinking late night type of stuff here for those who are up and ready to go.
10:30 at night golfing? I've never even thought about doing that.
Heck yeah. We'll mix in a couple of beverages. We'll make sure Ubers are provided. And we'll have a lot of fun. And then if, you younger folks or whatever it is that you want to call yourself, I know, Googans, since you guys get up at 5 a.m. and listen to Jeff at 6, you can schedule your tee time we'll put you out there at 6 a.m. on a Saturday morning. How does that sound? All right. I don't know. We'll put it together. It's going to be a blast, though. All right. Much more to do with you tonight until 8 o'clock. What a great time of year this is. I just love the next 4 days. I'm loving it right now in preparation of the Masters. The only thing I ever ask for is just let the weather be kind, okay? And what I mean by that is no rain. If you want to bring a heck of a lot of wind like we got today in Duval, that's fine. That is absolutely fine. But just keep the rain away.
Every tackle, basket, and crack of the bat. Your radio home for play-by-play is 1010XL.
Fight night is here. Join Dan and I at UNF Arena for Guns N' Hoses, Saturday, April 18th. You want to be a part of the pugilistic festivities? Go to GNHJacks.com and get your tickets now. It's Guns N' Hoses, Saturday, April 18th.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law. When it comes to glass, you don't want average. You want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow. Mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced. Decorative tabletops. Windows replaced or repaired to stand up to Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote. There's only one name for glass and mirror around these parts. It's Duval.
Here's a health and wellness tip from orthopedic specialists of Jacksonville.
Here's a simple tip for shoulder health to improve your posture. Slouching can put extra stress on your shoulders, leading to pain and injury. Make sure your head is over your shoulders are relaxed and pulled back, and your spine is properly aligned. Whether you're sitting or standing, if you sit for long periods of time, make sure to get up and take breaks and work on pulling your shoulders back. Get up and get moving, Jacks, and go Jags.
Stay healthy with orthopedic specialists of Jacksonville.
Your tax refund has plans. A vacation? A flat screen TV? Well, your plumbing has other ideas. If you've been putting off a major repair, this is your chance to get the work done and save money. With the tax refund plumbing upgrade from Duck Duck Rooter, get $500 off any major plumbing repair over $5,000. That's real savings. Duck Duck Rooter delivers honest, upfront pricing and experienced pros who do it right. Call to schedule a free estimate. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com. Financing is available.
Hi, I'm Amber Frangie. By now, you've heard the story. How I heard about how much weight some of my dad's friends at the radio station lost with Awaken 180, so I wanted to try it myself. Well, the truth is, it's really incredible. I just met with my Awaken 180 coach, and I've now lost more than 150 pounds. That is a real number, not an exaggeration. Some of you may think, wow, if she lost that much, how much had she gained? Well, that's a story for another day. But what I can tell you is Awaken 180 has changed my life and maybe saved my life. I thought I might have been at a point of no return, but with Awaken 180, you never are. There's no medications, no fad diets, just a coach you meet with weekly who you can trust, a meal plan that makes sense and that you'll enjoy. It's honestly a miracle. If you want to lose weight, even if you have a lot of weight to lose like me, Awaken 180 truly is the way to go. If that's where you are, try Awaken 180 today.
I'm Frank Frangie, but take it from my kid. If you want to lose weight the right way, call 1-844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with Jacob Bridgman, who won earlier this year on the PGA Tour for the first time over at Riviera. And I'm going to pick him as my long shot. I'm going to pick him as my dark horse. He is one of 22 golfers who will play Augusta for the first time competitively, and that'll be tomorrow morning. I am picking Ludwig Åberg to win the Masters. And again, Jacob Bridgman will be my long shot. So there you go. I was thinking about going with Ohtani, who actually allowed an unearned run today. I think he had gone 32 2/3 innings without allowing a run. And he has also been on base like 43 consecutive games. They were up 3-1 when he came out. He went 6 innings, allowed 4 hits. Again, no earned runs. Struck out a couple, but the bullpen couldn't hold it. And let's see, he was hit by a pitch, also walked. So, yeah, I want to say he's well past 40 consecutive games of being on base. I'm not comparing this to the 56-game hit streak by Joe DiMaggio, but this is 43 straight games where he has actually made it on base. And he would have been well over 30, maybe, I forget what it was going in as far as scoreless innings. But, yeah, if you make an error, like one of his teammates did, I was watching Red Sox Brewers earlier today, it is going to still go against the scoreless streak. Also, Connor Griffin, the young superstar in Pittsburgh, finally signed his deal today. 9 years, $140 million. You got to be kidding me. Guys calling me from up in Augusta 9067 saying that Mark Calcavecchi was removed from Augusta National today by security for using a cell phone, a violation of the club's no phone policy. Thought that only happened at Pablo Creek, which you're not allowed. You are absolutely not allowed to have a cell phone. We just heard from Aaron Dame over at Back Nine Golf in Ponte Vedra, right there on Phillips Highway. He's also got his website for private lessons. He can be reached there as well. It's ajdgolf.org. ajdgolf.org. We need to get you on the golf course. That may be a good place for you to start out there at Back Nine. See what you can do. You've never swung sticks before? You're not listening. All right. I guess not. Hey, and by the way, if it doesn't work with Jacob Bridgman, you know what I can do late night is I can just go to Old School Fights and pull up Mel Bridgman. He is absolutely positively my favorite fighter of all time. All right, non-Boston Bruin fighter of all time. 1277, Baloo, not only if Tiger walked to Augusta, he would do it at the age of 50. Goes on to say yada, 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 about the show, good things about the show. Good things about the show I don't normally read. If you want to criticize, whether it's corrective or you just don't like me, you got a much better chance of having that message read. 6084, let's see here. This is interesting. Pass rush help. Trade up, 44 gets Cash Howell. Jets, Harold Perkins, 81. Now, you and I are on the same page here. Okay, you're trading up to 44. What is that going to cost? You are saying 56 and 88. Boy, 2 for 1. Only if they love a guy. And, you know, tomorrow's the luncheon. Or not the luncheon. Tomorrow's the press conference. Okay, at the Miller Electric Center. So I just hope tomorrow night, with all the Masters talk and everything that's going on, I hope I roll in here and I have a little something as far as a vibe. I think there's a real good chance that they could trade up, right? I don't see them trading into the first round. First of all, it's not considered a great draft. So why would you move up if you look at the table and what it's going to cost? Why would you want a late first-round pick, 27, 28, all the way to Seattle's 32nd, when you could probably get that, early to midway through the second round? In this case, from the 60-84, he says that's exactly what they should do. Trade number 56 and number 88, move up to number 44, and get the edge Cash Howell. And then at 81, you get Harold Perkins, and at 100, you get Zane Durant. I love your way of thinking here. Those are the 3 positions that absolutely need to be addressed. I'm going to put offensive line in there. The only thing I don't like about giving up 2 for 1 is those are the 4 positions that have to be addressed on Friday night. Okay, second round for me, it's been Grayson Hall. It's getting a DT. I already told you one of my third-round picks. I love Harold Perkins as the off-the-ball linebacker. I mean, this is a football player. I think you need an edge. It's a strong edge class. You should be able to find a guy with one of those picks in the third round and then at 100 as well. Okay, my other position is you have to keep drafting on the offensive line. You cannot let that go. You absolutely have to address it year after year after year. And I think Wyatt Milum's got an opportunity to win a starting job this year. And I think next year, depending on the contract and depending on how he plays, you can really make the case that it's time for Jonah Monheim to take over the center position. But obviously, that's a year away. All right, we got more to do. We've been really busy tonight. That's going to include Hacker Nation, who will join you. He is coming up tonight at 8 o'clock.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Rotator cuff injuries are common among athletes and those who have physically demanding careers. Don't let this injury keep you away from the sport you love. Dr. George Barry here, and the first thing you need to do with a serious shoulder injury is to diagnose where the damage is and how significant it is. Rotator cuff tears are either acute tears sustained during an injury or accident, or degenerative tears. If you're interested in learning more about rotator cuff repair and how our expert team of orthopedic surgeons can help you, call Barry Orthopedics today or visit barryorthopedics.com.
Beat the spring cleaning rush and call Zero Res. Hicken here. This is the perfect time to clean those air ducts as you deal with allergy season, furnace and AC efficiency, post-winter, and more. Your air ducts are like the lungs of your home. If they're dirty, your indoor air suffers. Just check out the more than 8,000 Google reviews with a 4.9 rating. This month, take 20% off your whole home air duct cleaning. Pay less for more fresh. Call 287-5727 or go online at ZeroResJacksonville.com and ask for the 1010XL special.
Hello, I'm Ed Jackson, president of Ned Jackson Income Tax. Ned Jackson Income Tax has been preparing tax returns in Jacksonville for over 80 years. Our tax preparers at Ned Jackson Income Tax have years of knowledge and experience to help you get your highest possible tax refund and are fully trained on all IRS updates, including the One Big Beautiful Bill. Visit one of Ned Jackson's 4 locations, including our downtown office at 255 North Liberty Street. That's Ned Jackson Income Tax, 356-0349.
When you drive past a Kuhn Flowers location, did you know their inside showroom is filled with gift items? Kuhn Flowers isn't just for sending flowers. Frank Frangie here. And when I need a unique gift, I head for Kuhn Flowers, Beach Boulevard and in Ponte Vedra since 1947. Kuhn Flowers.
At G&H Tires and Service, the G stands for great pricing. The H, well, that means honest service. For over 20 years, Roger and his team have helped Jacksonville drivers stay safe on the road. Need brakes, oil change, AC not blowing cold? Well, how about a super affordable $36 oil change? Affordable brake jobs, AC checks before summer hits, alignments for all these construction roads, and even free check engine light inspections. Locally owned, community driven. G&H Tires and Service on Beach Boulevard.
La playa is Spanish for the beach. If you can't remember that, the word Corona also works. Corona, La playa awaits.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
Hey guys, Coach Campo here.
We just left Tony D's Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295. My wife is still raving about the eggplant parmesan. At Tony D's, it's more than just pizza. I'll see you there.
Of course, Roland Reach Plumbing has awards from Folio Weekly and the Bold City's Best. Now, Roland Reach is also confirmed as the Google Guaranteed Plumbing Service. Because when you do plumbing right, the word gets around. That's Roland Reach Plumbing.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Getting a lot of stuff tonight on whether or not I believe the Jags will move up. Just read a couple. Here's another one, 93-18. And do I think they'll trade some later picks to get back into the second round for 2 picks in the second? Well, you need to find someone who's willing to take that. I mean, I remember the years that Trent Baalke acquired so many late picks, 6th-round picks, couldn't find anyone to trade with. They have 11 picks. I think they have 10 or 11 next year. They have plenty of opportunities here, but still, you got to find someone who is going to, dance with you. The good news about James Gladstone is at least these general managers will take his call. At least they'll listen to him. And I don't know if we'll find anything out tomorrow at the press conference. That'll be interesting. But I'm sure if they could find someone, they'd love to move up. I hate to give up one of the 4 top picks, 56, 81, 88, and 100, because I can get 4 really good football players, unless they will absolutely love a guy to move up. Your thoughts on that, Hacker Nation?
You a Caleb Banks guy?
Well, how can I not be? 6'6", 325, the way that he ran before he popped, that situation in his foot. That's alarming. Isn't that his 3rd injury of that foot?
3rd injury on the foot. And as you said, 6'6", 325. I've been asking a lot of people this question. There was not a chance that Caleb Banks was going to be there at 56 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I've had people tell me he was the most dominating player at the Senior Bowl, and it wasn't really close. He also had a pretty good combine, which apparently is where he aggravated the foot. If he's there at 56, do you roll the dice with the foot issues and take him?
It all comes down to what they saw when they went inside. And, I say it all the time, the most important part of the combine is the medicals. They didn't even send Gladstone and Cohen there. I mean, you send your scouts there, but it's your medical staff and how they look at things. And, they get a chance to look at them before the injury, after the injury. They're so secretive with everything. Have they had an opportunity to send, Dr. Kaplan to Gainesville to look at the foot? We want to get another look inside. So if they think it's not going to be a problem, absolutely, no question about it, I make the pick. But if he's red flagged and they think it's a concern, then you got to go in another direction.
And he's the guy, you talk about trading up. I wonder if Caleb Banks, and we use him obviously because of Florida, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think if Caleb Banks played at TCU, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation.
Right.
But because he's a Gator and he was dominant and he's a position of need for the Jaguars, if he starts falling into the 45, 47, 49 range, does Gladstone at that point get on the phone and try to get up 6 or 7 spots? Because, look, everybody talks about linebacker and secondary, which I agree with. I'm not so sure interior defensive line isn't as big a need on this team as any, because Eric Armstead, odds are his final year is 2026. Mason Smith, is he even going to make the roster? Devon Hamilton's a free agent after the year. I mean, they got to find some defensive tackles.
There's no doubt about it. And number 56 for me, without even thinking, is a defensive tackle. That is by far their biggest need as far as positions. I think they've filled the running back. I think they filled the defensive back. I think they filled the safety. And they're going to get an off-the-ball linebacker, and I still think Ventrell Miller can play. If they were to move up into the mid-40s, then they love this kid, or whoever it is that they snatch up. But, yeah, they absolutely have to get a defensive tackle very early on Friday with one of their picks. I would say 56 overall. All right, so you have that tonight. What else?
Yeah, a lot of Jaguar talk. Big news in Gainesville. They just landed the #1 interior offensive lineman in America, Maxwell Hiller out of Pennsylvania, who's the number one player in Pennsylvania, commits to John Summerall and the Florida Gators. Clearly the biggest news recruiting-wise that Summerall's had in Gainesville. That's the Phil Trautwein effect. So we'll certainly talk about Florida landing a 5-star. And we'll go to the state capitol. Your buddy Ira Schofel, warchant.com, joins me tonight to talk about what on earth is going on in Tallahassee with the Florida State Seminoles.
I'm old enough to remember when Florida State got the best player out of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
His name was Dan Kendra.
Oh, Dan Kendra. That's right.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, say hello to Ira for me. Have a fun show.
Thanks, Rick.
All right, that's going to do it. We were jam-packed tonight and certainly did enjoy it. Fired up for tomorrow. Really am. Hopefully we'll get something out of this. And, you know, it's just, I'm expecting a little something just because that's the way that this brass has been. And that's great to know for you, I would imagine, Jaguars fans. Thank you to Aaron Dame from Back 9 Golf right there in Ponte Vedra. It is on Phillips Highway right next to Nice. Thank you to the Boston Capper. Thank you to John Osher. Aaron Williams produces it. Folks, enjoy the Masters. Have a great morning and afternoon. Tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, we'll give you everything involved with the first-round coverage, plus what James Gladstone and Liam Cohen has to say with their draft press conference.